Hi, welcome to Let's Talk Motivation. I'm Serena Miranda, your host. And today our guest is Sydney Twichell-Hernandez with Clever Girl Marketing and PR. How are you doing, Sydney?
I am good. How are you, Serena?
I'm great. Happy Monday. Are you ready for the
Absolutely. I'm pretty ready for the week. This week is pretty busy, but I think I can conquer it.
Nice. Well, welcome. And I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy I met you because we're newly acquainted.
Oh, yes.
I think the first time I met you it wasn't at the accelerator.
No.
The event prior to that, right? Or was it?
Yeah, I think so.
At the Babe Support Babes Co-Space.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, such a great space to meet such strong and powerful women too.
Right? It is. I am just so excited that I'm part of that community. I have really enjoyed meeting everybody. I'm like, everyone has so many unique qualities and something that we can all learn from. So I'm glad I met you.
Absolutely. Thank you. I'm glad I met you too.
Yes. And thank you for being here. And today we're going to just be chatting about motivation and what that means and what that looks like for you. And maybe someone out there can learn something and grasp something from you or myself and run with it, right?
Absolutely.
So let me ask you a couple questions. I'm going to start with just a simple one. What do you do and why do you do it?
So I do marketing and PR for female-owned entrepreneur businesses. I got into this business a couple years ago. My mom owns a marketing firm, and so growing up, I was homeschooled, and so were my siblings. And she did marketing and PR for film. And so I spent a lot of time on film sets being a personal assistant, doing a bunch of things behind the scenes. And that's kind of how I got into social media, because around that time is when Instagram and TikTok and all of that was really starting to hit off. And so from there, I started doing just some small work for small Christian films and realized that I kind of had a knack for it and just kind of stuck to it.
That's wonderful. Are there any films that we would know or you would recommend?
Well, so I did do some cold calling for the film War Room. I was doing some marketing on that, just kind of calling different churches to see if they wanted to do group screenings for it, and then also helped with some really cool events to premiere it. Some of the other films are kind of dorky. They're a little small, but I do have an IMDb with my name on some of them. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, that is amazing. I didn't know that about you. This is a great reveal. It's like a wonderful. That is amazing. And you do social media marketing and PR, right? Now
Yeah, so there's a big difference between marketing and PR. Mm-hmm. I always talk about marketing is talking about your services and products, but PR is talking about you, the public perception of you, who you are, what your business does. That's very important because people aren't willing to buy unless they trust you. And so PR is about building that trust, and marketing is about building that sale.
Nice. Sorry, my dogs just saw something go by. That's awesome. Yeah. And that is so important to know the difference, because sometimes as business owners, we don't know that they're two totally different things. And that's great that you're doing that. And you know, I'm a past educator, so I feel like everything I do has some part of education, and that is so important, because as business owners, we need to know the difference.
Absolutely.
So let's dig into these motivation questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So what keeps you grounded and motivated in the midst of running a business and managing life's ups and downs?
So I would definitely say having a strong community around me is what helps keep me grounded. My husband is my biggest cheerleader. He's my biggest supporter. I'm always talking about him when I go to networking events, because everyone's like, how do you pull this off? My husband, he is the number one supporter of all of this. And so he definitely helps me kind of stay focused and grounded. But also BSB has been so helpful. Babe Support Babes. I got introduced to Babes, Support Babes through Leslie Owen. She is my mentor. I've known her since I was a little kid, actually. And so I've been watching BSB slowly grow and develop when she and Christine launched it. And I've been kind of cheering Christine from the sidelines. And so when I launched my own company, I immediately joined because I knew I wanted to and be part of a strong community. And that community has definitely kind of helped me keep grounded, because I'll be honest, I probably would have quit by now if I didn't have that strong community holding my hand.
That is amazing. And that is so true. Like Leslie is both the sisters. I just feel they are God sent for sure. I'm just so excited. And I always tell Christine, when I grow up, I want to be just like her.
Yeah, exactly. I always tell Leslie that too. I'm like, you guys they're so smart. And I love seeing like a sister duo team, yes. And it's so funny because my sister came yesterday with us to the Pride and Prejudice event at BSB. And she was like, I wonder if I could go into business and join BSB. And I was like, hey, we'll be a sister duo too if you want to.
Yes, for sure. And that's a great question for her, because that is the place to go to figure that out.
Absolutely.
Right. That's wonderful. So can you share a moment in your leadership journey that tested your resilience, and what got you through it?
Yes. So before I dove full time into marketing, I've always done it kind of freelance on the side a little bit. But before I went full in, I was actually working in youth ministry as a youth ministry associate director. Right. And I had been at this particular church for about 2 years. I built a community. I built a relationship with the students. And then very abruptly at the beginning of the year, I was let go. And that was devastating. It was heartbreaking. And one of the things I think people don't talk about when it comes to things like ministry and working in it is part of the job is building a community. And so when you lose that job, you also lose that community. And so as I was struggling, I had all these people around me kind of downplaying it almost, because it's just a job. It's just, you just move on. But I don't think a lot of people understood that it wasn't just a job. It was a family. It was a community. It was a church that I couldn't be a part of anymore. And so one of the things that really got me through it was allowing myself to process that grief and those emotions. I feel like many times when we think of leadership, it's very male centric. And a lot of times there's not a lot of emotion in it. There's not a lot of processing, the ups and downs of everything. You just keep pushing through and you keep your head down. And when I was doing that, I realized that I was just miserable. I wasn't succeeding as well as I could. And once I finally processed that grief and I let myself feel, I was able to get back on my feet. I was able to kind of learn from that experience. And instead of looking at that experience as negative because it's not part of my life anymore, instead looking at it as a lesson that I can learn for other leadership things in the future.
That's right. That is so good. And to come to that realization is awesome. Is you. And I think I would have had a little harder time moving that forward.
Yeah.
So that is awesome that you would be able to see that and go through it and then rise above, right?
Thank you.
It's wonderful. So let's talk daily. Like, what daily routines, beliefs, or your support system helps you stay focused and inspired as a self-employed business owner?
Yeah. I would say the first thing, getting that stretching in early in the morning. As soon as you get out of bed and your body's stiff, start stretching it out. I had a car accident a few years ago that my joints hurt and my muscles ache. And so first thing in the morning, to make sure that my mind is sharp, is stretching to make sure that my body isn't holding me back. And the other thing I would say is I rely a lot on art to motivate and inspire me. There are certain TV shows, songs, films where the character that is in the story kind of motivates me to keep going and moving on and inspires me. And I see a lot of myself in those characters. And so whenever I'm feeling down, whenever I'm feeling I can't do it, I turn on the TV and I watch a certain episode, or I watch just a clip from a film, and it reminds me yeah, I can do it, because if that character can do it, then I can do it.
That's right. That is so cool. Yeah, I listen to music that gets me amped up also. I'm very certain songs and certain things that I do help get me focused for sure.
Absolutely. Art is a great tool.
Yeah, it is, definitely. So, what advice would you give to a fellow business owner or industry leader who might be struggling to stay motivated right now? Before we dive back in, let me share something that's been helping so many of my listeners lately. Are you legally ready? Most business owners aren't until it's too late. I'm Serena Miranda, and I help small business owners stay protected with affordable access to a provider law firm. Whether it's contracts, collections, employee issues, or compliance questions, you don't have to go at it alone. Legal protection is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. Let's get your business legally ready. DM me, Serena Protects, or click the link in the show notes to schedule a quick legal readiness call. Now let's get back to it, because staying legally ready is one of the smartest moves you can make as a business owner.
I would say, imagine you are talking to your younger self, your little kid self, your teenage self, your early 20s self. One of the things that I do when I think back on, why I'm here and what I'm doing is I remember myself as a 15, 16-year-old whose mom was going through cancer and whose dad was completely disconnected and who was trying to help her siblings go through school. And I think about her and what she would think of what I'm doing now and how inspired she would be that this is how we ended up. It's really cool to be able to say that I'm a CEO before 26. And so being able to look back on your younger self and realizing your younger self, maybe she knew that she was going to turn out this way, but I guarantee you she didn't. And so realizing like you have come so much further, and it motivates you to think, how much further can I go? When I'm in my 40s, when I'm in my 50s, when I'm in my 60s, how am I going to look back on my 20s? And what is my 20-year-old self going to think of 30-year-old me? And keep that motivation going, because the further we go and the longer we go, the more we're going to inspire ourselves.
That's true. That is so true. Well, what else, Sydney? Give us some more information about your business or what your goals are and what's going to be happening in the next 2, 5, 10 years.
Absolutely. So the main goal for Clever Girl is we are hoping to expand to be hiring probably in the next 2 years is my goal. My inspiration for starting my own business, frankly, is because I wanted to empower young adults and young women specifically to be rewarded for the work that they do. A lot of the times when I was working for other people, I would go above and beyond and I wasn't getting the recognition or the pay or the promotions that I thought I would. And I even had a conversation with my husband probably about an hour ago. I can't wait to hire people so that I get to let their talent shine. And so that is one of the big things that we're working towards. I'm also working towards getting an actual studio where we can be recording videos for people. We can be recording content. By the end of the year, we will be launching podcast producing. So that's going to be very exciting. And then, just basically growing, Clever Girl Marketing falls under a LLC called Sydney Twichell-LLC. It's my name. And our tagline is revolutionizing the way we do business. I want to change how we do business. I want to change how we interact with our clients, with other businesses, and also our employees, but as a whole, our entire community. Because businesses, we live in a capitalistic society. Businesses affect the community, and I want to affect positive change with whatever business that I start. And so hopefully we'll be starting other businesses, and all of them will be tailored towards helping women in their businesses, whether it's business consulting, whether it's leadership training. We have all these big plans. But at the end of the day, it is all about empowering other business owners to affect change in their community.
That is awesome. How exciting. I'm so happy that I'm part of this journey, watching you grow and make Clever Girl a really impactful piece of our community. That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Now, I do have a question. Are you part of any other women's groups besides BSB?
At the moment, no. I want to join NABO, but as of right now, our budget doesn't allow it. And so once we start growing a bit more, NABO is the next step. I'll be joining them, and I'm very excited because that's another organization that I've been watching for a long time and have been excited to join.
Have you seen their Next Gen program? Which is
no, I have not.
I'll send it to you because they have a Next Gen program for small startups or for the businesses that are just taking off. So that might be an option as well.
That would be awesome. Thank you.
I think you would fall under that category.
Absolutely.
Christine or Bree, they're both helping with membership to see if that would be a category for you, because we would love to have you. We are, NABO has grown so much, and I don't know the final numbers because we just had the major membership push drive, and we have been number 2 in the nation for a while.
Wow.
And I am waiting to see if we've topped number 1. So I'm so excited because I'm a little competitive. I know. I'm a little competitive. And when I found out we were number 2, I was like, to who are we number 2? No.
We Texas, can do better.
I'm like, in Texas, we're number 1.
Yeah.
You know? So I think it was, we go back to back with, I think it's Ohio. So,
really?
Yeah. So I'm going to find out. Don't mark my words, but I'm being optimistic that we peaked to number 1 with membership. So
honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. Again, I've been watching NABO for a while. They've been growing fast.
They have done so many great things. I love their direct connects, which are smaller, their coffees and their lunch. And then they have the evening networking events. And then of course I go to their monthly luncheons. I enjoy the monthly luncheons. And I ended up just diving straight in. Are you going to the summit, the women's summit next week?
No, I was looking at that, but it's around the time of my birthday, and so I've got other plans going on.
Well, if you can make it to the happy hour, I think we're having the happy hour event is an event on its own. You can come to that on Monday night.
Okay, I'll definitely look into that.
Yeah, see if you have time. I think it's only from like 5:30 to 7:30. It's a happy hour event. And but yeah, I'm just super excited. I joined the hospitality committee because I like to be hospitable. So and then as like I've only been in for a year, and I knew when I first started, I thought it was nice when people go up to you and are like, "Hey, are you a new member? How are you doing? What is your business? Let me see if I can connect you." And that's the welcome I received when I think the first person I met was Cassandra Vitaka Mitchell. She's also a multi last name person like us. And we just hit it off really well. And I was super thankful for her coming up to me and introducing herself. And then I met Anne Marie. Have you met Anne Marie?
I feel like I've crossed with her before. Yes, I have.
Anne Marie, the notary. And I met her the next luncheon, literally the second luncheon I went to. And then it's just like dominoed since then. I've been meeting some great women, great connections. I met Christine at the Women's Summit last year.
That is awesome.
Bar. Yeah, I just was like, hi. And she was like, hi. And it was her and Leisha and one other, I think it was Kat. I think it was Kat. I can't remember who it was, but that's when I asked her and she goes, "Oh, I own a co-space." And I was like, "Really? Tell me more." And at the time I was having these luncheons and women's luncheons, and I thought, "Oh, that might be interesting." And then the rest is history. That's
awesome.
Yeah. And that's how life works. So you just put yourself out there, you start connecting with people, and you will be put in the path of where you need to be.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely just another form of marketing. Visibility, biggest important part of marketing and PR, getting yourself out there, putting your face out there. Because again, nobody's going to buy from you if they don't know you exist.
Exactly. I totally agree with that. I'm so excited. So tell me, how can people get a hold of you or find you on social media?
Absolutely. So my handle on Instagram is at Clever Girl Marketing and PR. I am very active on there. I'm pretty much on there almost all day, every day right now. And if you are following on Instagram and you're keeping an eye out, you might be hearing about some new ways that you can follow me and get some new content. We are launching a newsletter soon and some blogs. So some blogs are going to come out. We're going to be talking about everything from what it's like running a business while battling depression, to how to tackle different areas of marketing, to ways that you probably didn't think that you could be marketing right now. There are social media platforms that everyone looks over, but honestly, they can be a great tool if you know about them. And so we're going to be talking a lot about that on the website. My website is sydneytwichell.com. Very simple, very easy.
Yeah.
And so anyone is free to DM me, ask any marketing PR questions. I'm very open, and my calendar is almost always open for free consultations. They're just 1 hour, and it's just getting to know you, your business, what you guys are looking for, what you need. And there's no obligation to sign anything, because I just want to get to know you and what your goals are, what your vision is.
Nice. And I'll put in the description, I'll tag you. You're on LinkedIn, Instagram, primarily,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
And then
mainly Instagram and LinkedIn.
Nice. And I'll put the link for your newsletter because I want to get the newsletter. Send me
Absolutely.
Put me on your newsletter.
I will do.
Social media changes so fast that I feel like I'm constantly looking what's new and how to market myself. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, that's one of the main things I talk about with women is they'll come to me and they're like, what's new? What's going on? I can't keep up. And so one of the packages that we are launching that we're starting soon is you can do just a meeting with me where it's 90 minutes, it's $75, and you sit down and I just catch you up on all the stuff that's happening on social media. And then if you are dealing with creator's block, if you don't know where you want to go next, but you don't exactly want to hand over all of your social media to me, then we can sit down and I can give you ideas and we can come up with a plan for the next few weeks. And so that's definitely something that's coming up soon that will be offered with us, because sometimes you don't want to hand over everything when you've been putting so much work and hard work and effort and time into it. Exactly. And so it's basically just hiring someone to mentor you through social media and keep up with the trends, because, oh my gosh, those trends change so fast.
Definitely. And I want to talk to you more about the PR part, because I really want to understand it and like what it looks like. So, I'm an insurance broker, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, what would that look like for me? Like, how would I use that part of your business?
Yeah. So right now what we're actually doing is PR, because we're getting to know each other. We're talking with each other, but also our audience is getting to know us. They're getting to know more about us. And so already your talk show that you are doing right now is PR, because people are getting to know you on a more personal basis, and they're getting to know your audience on a more personal basis. Nice. And so that's definitely one way. Public speaking is another big thing, because again, they're getting to know you. They're getting to know your story. They're getting to trust you. The more we know about someone's background, then the more we're willing to trust them. And that is why platforms like TikTok are so popular, because they thrive on authenticity. It's not perfectly tailored. It's not perfectly professional. It's just being authentically you. And then PR also helps when there are certain things going on in the world and people need questions answered. And so with things like if you work in insurance and some legislation passes with the United States, having a public statement towards that on how you can help them is also PR, because it's helping people understand more of what you do, but it's also getting people to trust you.
That's interesting. Oh, thank you so much. That puts it in perspective for sure. Definitely. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Sydney. I think this was a great conversation, and I learned a lot for sure. And I'm sure our viewers are going to learn a lot. I'm glad we had the time to talk together.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on the show. I've been watching on LinkedIn for a while, and so I was so excited when you were looking for people.
Yes. And today is May 5th, and this is the launch. And I am so thankful that you are my first interview for the relaunch.
I'm so excited.
And we'll see each other again, I'm sure, at one of these events.
Oh, I'm sure.
These going on. Well, thank you so much. And I'm sure we'll have a conversation again because I want to continue learning about PR from you.
Absolutely. I would be happy to be on again.
Awesome. All right. Bye.